Edgar Wright's first dive into a more serious horror in opposition to Shaun of the Dead's comedy. I've seen a few mixed reviews for this one. Do I agree with them? Let's talk about it. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing and leaving this a like. It lets me know that you do enjoy the videos, and by subscribing you can find more content like this coming to you later on and already on the channel, and it means a great bunch to me personally. On the bright side, if you end up not enjoying my content, then you can always unsubscribe later. It's free. So I'll start off by saying I think this film is pretty damn good. Edgar Wright brings a great style and uniqueness to this movie, which he always does. Baby Driver, the Three Flavor Condado trilogy, you know it's an Edgar Wright movie. He brings more style along with him for this movie too. It has a serious, scary topic running throughout the entire of it, and it handles it really well, in my personal opinion, and it balances a lot of the tones, because it's got a lot of tones going on, and it balances them really well for me.
You are?
Sandy.
So talking about the characters, our main character is Ellie, and I think she's set up really well. We practically learn all we need to know about her in the first scene, and it's said with so little dialogue and no real exposition dumps a little bit from the ground, but not. That doesn't feel like an exposition dump because they're just talking, you know? And we get a little bit of backstory to Ellie's gift and everything, but there is so much with Ellie going to London, why she wants to, and everything like that. And just about Ellie as a person, we learn so much visually. It's really well done, and I'm invested right from the get-go, honestly. And then talking about Sandy, we establish her really well as well, actually, and establish a personality connection to Ellie. A lot of similarities, so that creates an extra connection for us as the audience, because obviously they're connected through Ellie's gift. We see a personality connection there as well. And then I do want to talk about Jack, Matt Smith's character. While he is a side character and we don't know much about him, I think he's performed really well, and he's kind of the face of a lot of the themes and a lot of the shit going on in this movie. And I think he's performed perfectly by Matt Smith. Obviously a big difference to Doctor Who, but nonetheless, I think he nails it.
Ding dong, okay, brilliant.
And with saying that, the entire cast deserves a shout out. Thomasin McKenzie, sorry if I'm saying her name wrong, and Anya Taylor-Joy are outstanding, and so is Matt Smith, obviously, but as I was saying, those two do so much, and it is outstanding. As I say, I don't have the true words for it. So let's talk about the actual horror elements. From the get-go, London is uncomfortable, and that is what it sets out to do, and it does it really well. It's intense, honestly. It creates a real flow of emotion, and if you don't know, this film has quite a sensitive topic in it of sexual assault, and that is the real horror. That is what scares me the most throughout the film, and I think the film knows. The film treats it like an actual horror, and it is. That is scary, and it's a real world thing, and it takes it in this film and handles it really well. And I'd say the parts where it focuses more on that stuff, scarier than the paranormal elements that we do get in this film. There is a lot of paranormal stuff, especially later on. Like in the cab ride, we're in Ellie's shoes, and I am generally just curled up and scared for what's going to come next, and it really establishes the tone and the theme of the sexual abuse, and obviously it takes it a lot further than that scene. That kind of encapsulates it, the uncomfortable, the genuine horror that makes me scared and uncomfortable. It also tackles another genuine idea, which is a really common thing today, and I think it's come at a really good time. You see so much people, especially when Stranger Things came out, people going, oh my god, the 80s were so much better, and everything like that. And this film tackles the idea of fantasizing dangerously. The way people constantly talking about wanting to go back to a previous time, maybe it was visually more appealing, and maybe there were slight elements, but if you weren't there, you don't actually know what it's like. You could be fantasizing a time that was horrible in so many ways, and that is a dangerous thing, because what was it actually like back then? And I think it is a dangerous thing, and I think that's what this film kind of tries to say. Just know that it does tackle the idea, and I think it tackles it really interestingly. But the baseline with the horror is there's a lot of anxiety induced from this movie, and those real elements are the best parts. I love cinematography. I appreciate good visuals in anything, and good lighting, and what they stand for within the context of the movie more than just looking good. This film is one of the most beautiful films I think I've maybe ever seen. I think the lighting is immaculate all the way, and I think it is just a gorgeous movie to look at, and it means so much. And this is a film where I couldn't go any further without actually mentioning the visuals, because they're amazing. So let's talk about the story. It is a fun and very riveting mystery for me. I will say though, sometimes I don't think the tone is meshed together too well. Due to the cutting to another scene, sometimes that's a bit abrupt. Admittedly, that is kind of rare. Another thing that would happen occasionally is just the music. I don't know if that needs to be there. Although I should say the soundtrack is used for the most part really well, and I love the soundtrack as it is. Sometimes the pacing isn't great either. But generally, in terms of the story, my issues come with the twist, which is great. It's a great twist. If you don't know, the woman that owns the place where Ellie stays turns out to be Sandy, and it's a great twist. I am in shock, and that creates one big hole. Why did Ellie see Sandy die? I don't understand how that is her gift like a mix. That's never established if she can get things wrong, and maybe I did miss something. That's more than possible. That is just a kind of hole that you think about after the film. As much fun as the twist is and well executed the twist is, it leaves that thought in your head after the movie's over. Also, there's a switch Sandy makes to decide not to kill Ellie in the end. There's not a concrete reason for it. I don't know if it's meant to be a realization or she's actually seeing the ghost that Ellie sees at the end. I don't know, but it feels like something we should know. I don't know if he's trying to leave it up to interpretation. Maybe. I have interpreted it in my own way, but that she never wanted anything like this. I feel like we should have had something more concrete for something like that, but it feels a bit rushed, I guess. I think maybe the focus was more on actually preserving the twist and executing it in a shocking way, which it does. Very entertaining, very fun. Something maybe I should have seen coming, I don't know, but I'm pretty awful with stuff like that. I think maybe there were a few logical slips. Anyway, this film left a lasting impact on me. These characters are very well written and I care about them very much, and it makes me sad seeing Ellie unwillingly go through the sheer amount and slowly losing herself more and more to her gift, which I feel like is a potential metaphor for mental health and how that can change through events in your life. And that's how I took it, and it may not have been intended. That wasn't a very obvious metaphor in my opinion, and I think this is one of the beauties of film. You can really take things in your own way. And I also like, despite the turn that Sandy makes, it doesn't treat her as a bad guy, because she's not. There's not a mainline antagonist in this film. We're led to believe it's Jack, and kind of yes, because he's the face of it all. But we see Sandy just break as we go through the movie. Ellie is right alongside with her, and she can't do anything, and it's a tragedy, honestly. But it is a fun mystery as well. Like I say, it's a stylish, and the tone never gets heavy enough to make me want to stop watching. But there is a risk sometimes, and I think other movies do this, but if they don't handle it too well, it can get too much or feel like it's just being handled disrespectfully. And I think this film meets a very important middle ground. You can kind of feel that it's Wright's first proper horror. There is so much that works for me in this movie, that those logical flaws, while they come out after the movie, and while they may hinder my rewatches, there is still much more to love. And there are so many. I mean, this is just a ridiculous review to me. I mean, obviously everyone's entitled to your own opinion, and if you hate this movie, that's totally fair enough, and if you love it and don't agree with my flaws, that's even. But just for me, I think it was a really good movie, and I honestly hope Edgar Wright returns to horror. I'm very interested to see how he learns from this experience, and like I say, so much works for me. I think it's a really great movie, and very emotional, and I can't wait to watch it again. Let me know what you did think. Did you hate it? Do you hate my opinions? Or did you love it and did you agree with me? Please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions as always. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Take care.
The lights are much brighter there. You can forget all your troubles, forget all your cares, so go